Hey, it is Smooth Tim and Larry E. And thank you for dropping in with us on another Wednesday on Tim's Tidbits. How you doing, Larry?
All right, man. All right, you all right?
We're cool up here in the north, but it doesn't look like you so cool down south in Texas.
Well, it was hot the other day, but it kind of rained today, so it evened out.
Did it? Yeah, I see. Well, I saw maybe World News Tonight or all that stuff. They're just making a big deal out of nothing. They said, you're setting some type of record like 115. It feels like 120.
Oh, it's hot. Don't get me wrong. We had some days it was hot, bro. I don't know. Yeah, it was hot. Humid, real humid one day. It was incredible. So,
Hey, well, weather's weird, but I'll take the temperature we're having. It's a nice, cool, about 80 degrees here. Then in any regards, hey, thank you again for everybody for joining us. Oh, and before we get started, our hearts and prayers go out to that, the Titan, little submarine that's like lost out.
They found it?
No, they haven't. That, what was it? You pay so much and you get to go down and take a look at the Titanic at 2.5 miles or 2.5 kilometers rather, because that's a little further than a mile, 2.5 kilometers underwater. And they still have no idea where they're at. I think
they know what the Titanic is.
But who knows if they even made it there? Apparently, they lost communications. There's like 12 people on board and stuff. They're starting to run out of oxygen. They say, they got about 24 hours worth of oxygen left, if. So, hearts and prayers out to the family, and hope that the search and rescue team find those people. Anyhow, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's nice, Larry, just to get out and have a nice, relaxing game of golf. You know what I'm saying? Can't hear me? I don't know what the problem is. You must have yourself on mute or something. Anyhow, it says it is connecting the audio and can't hear you. It says, I'm seeing that on the screen. Anyhow, hey, let me get to the video real quick, and then hopefully your audio will connect up. All right? Check this video out, everybody, and then when we get back, hopefully Lori's back with us.
Now, golf is supposed to be a peaceful and serene sport where you can enjoy the great outdoors and hang out with your friends, but there have been many instances where teeing off can turn into a temper tantrum. Here we are, it's beautiful outside, right? You're in nature, it's calm, you hear the birds chirping. Isn't golf supposed to be this peaceful sport?
I think golf is different from other sports because golf is a sport you're out there on your own. You're not facing a lot of other people. You're really playing a game against yourself. And so there's a different kind of stress that's so much focused on you, so much more opportunity for shame, embarrassment, all the things that trigger people psychologically.
Right. At an upscale country club in Lake County, Florida, police say an eruption of golf rage led to this arrest of a dentist.
Why am I being arrested, sir?
Police say he beat this stranger with a golf club for walking on the path meant for golf carts. Joseph Sivak, a psychiatrist, says he was the victim.
He was violent and screaming from the outset. I don't know what was going on in his mind and brain.
Sivak says he was on his daily walk with his wife when he was assaulted.
Stop it! Oh my God, they just won't stop!
I got 3 broken ribs. I can hardly breathe. I have in my face, I have a fractured orbit. I have a fractured nasal bone, about 40 stitches in my earlobe.
This psychiatrist says he never expected to find himself a victim at, of all places, a golf course.
The thing is, he went on golfing. That's no conscience. That's sociopathic behavior, and it's dangerous. I could have died.
The dentist pled not guilty to aggravated assault. He says he was the victim.
Maybe golf isn't such a relaxing game. I don't know.
Hey, my audio had went out a while ago, Tim.
Did you see what happened to that poor guy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, no, my audio went out a second ago.
Yeah, I seen that on the,
Okay.
I had looked over at the other screen that.
I was doing this. Hey. Okay. Yeah, it's messed up, man. It's shit.
I mean, you
At least
can't.
no
You're
gun.
safe no place. I told Queen
At least
about.
no
I was
gun
gonna.
was used.
Yeah. At least no gun was used. Thank God, right? But I mean,
It was,
where are you safe? I mean, you
man,
can't
you
even take a little jog on the side of the golf course without some guy getting out of his cart and just beating your butt with a 9-iron. What?
and the reason why, what was the reason why he did that?
He said he didn't belong on the golf course. He should jog or get his morning jog in somewhere else.
Mm.
But I mean,
Never heard of a thug dentist.
you know what? No. You know what? I'll tell you, and this is a history lesson. Back in 1980, we had a kid out of Bowling Green that he won gold in the Olympics running. And every day he would come running down the street. We lived right by a golf course. He'd hop on the golf course. He'd run around the golf course, come back, and he'd run back to the university. He was a university kid at the time. Nobody ever said anything. In fact, they was quite proud once he actually, won. But everybody knew who he was because he always did the same thing every day. And I mean, who cares?
Well, you know what? I guess this guy's like, this is the golf course. Respect my golf course.
What is he doing
Maybe
to it?
he's saying that he's not going to go to a football field or a track and play golf on a track or play golf on a running trail. So why would you come jog on the walk on my golf course? That's the only way I can look at it.
He could look at it in that respect. Let's look at it from where you're coming from. I pay membership dues to this particular country club so that I have the privilege of golfing and or maybe using the other facilities or whatever they might offer their members.
For
right?
golf only.
So right. And so, some people may take that very literal. This is
I can understand him, but he just kind of took it too far with the
beating his
abuse
butt.
or whatever. He could have just went and told the golf the course
pro.
owner or
The pro.
or
Yeah,
the
you go into the pro shop and say, pop, 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 pop.
So if you don't keep these people off the golf course while I'm playing golf, I'm going to find me another club to go to.
There you
That's
go.
what you got to do.
Yeah, you can handle
Somebody
it
else.
in a much more diplomatic way. You're 100% on that. That was just insane. Anyhow, hey, speaking of insane, this happened at first part of the month. All right, and it's just kind of like really starting to come out now, where there was a data hack, and in fact, it affected the Bureau of Motor Vehicles in Oregon, California, and a couple of other places. And this company, excuse me, it's called Move It, and they handle like all kinds of stuff for utilities in different cities and states. Anyhow, they got hacked, and check this out. And this is how they're gonna like cover themselves, I guess.
Well, tonight, the Office of Motor Vehicles report there has been a serious cyber attack affecting Louisiana residents. Good evening, and thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Devin Bartolotta. It's a huge security data breach that the governor was informed about this morning. Eleanor Timone has more in tonight's top story.
Yeah, it's a concern because it's been stolen, so somebody has it or it is somewhere else.
According to the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, the OMV was breached. The state sees Move It, which is a data transfer service used to send large files, was targeted by cyber attackers.
This is kind of concerning because all that information is now on the dark web and may be for sale at some point.
The OMV says all Louisianans with state-issued driver's license, ID or car registration have likely had their name, address, social security number, birth date and driver's license number, plus more data exposed to the cyber attackers.
Who has it and what are they going to do with it and who are they going to sell it to? We don't know, but we do know that our data is not private any longer.
Cybersecurity expert George Schiaffino says this could be disastrous to people's credit.
People applying for a loan, having your information, opening up a bank account, opening up a credit card. So, they basically have all the information that you need to identify yourself.
The state recommends doing these things immediately. Freezing your credit, changing passwords, protecting tax refunds and returns with the IRS, checking your social security benefits, and reporting suspected identity theft. Eleanor Tabone, Eyewitness News.
State is.
Oh, I mean,
Okay.
that was Louis. I mean, there are multiple states that this company Move It handles, and multiple utilities, as I said, and credit reporting agencies, all kinds of stuff. People that have all this data about you, now it's just out there.
Well, it's nothing new, really, because they've been doing that for years. Scammers are going to scam. And
Yeah, but I mean, look what it's going to do, and your whole lifestyle depends so much on your credit.
and they saying Move It is going to lose a lot of money. They might as well file bankruptcy. They've been hacked.
Like everybody that got hacked is going to have to do too, right? I'm going to have to file bankruptcy.
Your credibility is shot now. I'm like, if you hacked, I'm like, it is what it is. And it's sad that people have to suffer from it, but I'm surprised that these companies don't have better security, man, when it comes to stuff like that. We ought to do a feature sometime, maybe coming up here about the actual good and bad guys and the money back and forth that these people are making for being able to hack in and sell that information, and the people actually that are trying to keep them from doing it, and who knows that they're not double agents, so to speak. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, because in America, honestly, you can get your new identity.
We talk about a lot of this stuff, artificial intelligence and the ability for people to get into your information. I mean,
that's the world we live in, man. I'm not even shocked.
Anyhow, I would just say, if you give a damn button and download yourself a Credit Karma app or something like that, you can occasionally, browse through and see if all of a sudden, something suspicious is popping up. And then
I have two of them. I have Experian and I have Credit Karma. I check mine on every other day or whatever.
You should keep you on a regular basis. Keep an eye on it, because wow, obviously, I don't know how many millions. My God!
If you care about your credit and you care about your lifestyle, you would have one of those apps to monitor your credit now, probably on a daily basis.
Don't you think? Yeah, it keeps getting worse. Absolutely. Next thing you might end up owning a home someplace that you never heard of.
A and B, what? When I get this, I'm going to go to my new crib.
Hey, well, they do that now with title fraud too. People selling your damn home and you're living in it.
Damn.
It's insane. Anyhow, hey, what are we going on to? Let's move on to something crazy. With a lot of flooding down in down south, in Louisiana and Florida, and
as usual.
As usual, but unfortunately, a person ended up getting trapped in this, and a officer had to rescue them.
Two people were sucked into a drainage pipe, and it was all caught on police video. Florida's Escambia County Sheriff's Office says severe weather and torrential downpours caught many people off guard, especially drivers. Deputy William Hollingsworth was one of the officers helping stranded motorists.
At one point, Deputy Hollingsworth exited his patrol car to approach a citizen who was trapped in these rising waters.
The officer saw the person go underwater and attempted to rescue him.
During the rescue attempt, both the citizen and Deputy Hollingsworth were sucked into the drainage pipe and were swept underneath the 4-lane roadway of Highway 98.
Authorities say the two men were underwater for about 30 seconds and traveled nearly 100 feet underwater.
Oh, man, I got you. Hey, buddy, I got you.
The officer and citizen resurfaced on the other side of the highway, shocked to be breathing.
Hey, David, can you believe what just happened to us? You okay, buddy? Can you believe what happened to us? Oh, just breathe. Just breathe, buddy. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you died too, buddy. Suck me in. I've never held my like that in my life. I mean it.
They waited for more help to arrive.
Let's hold on to each other. Yeah. I got you. He was over there and I was having him come across. And he goes down. And I go in after him. I got sucked in. Drain pipe right by that marker, and I went all the way underneath Highway 98 and got spit out.
Trauma can bond people, and this experience has clearly done that.
Me and you, man, you got some experience for life, and I appreciate you.
This
a trip or what?
Imagine how scared it is when you're getting sucked in there. You don't know where you're going.
You don't know. And, you know, thank God, like they said, when they got on the other side, that it was only, 150, 200 feet, whatever, through that pipe. You imagine if there was no outlet.
Imagine it could have been further where they couldn't hold their breath long enough. That's just a blessing.
That was a blessing that they were able to get out of that situation, and it just goes to show that people should use a little bit more caution. When it says, when you see that there's high water, how many times has that happened? You see it all the time. People get swept away in high water. They stall out in high.
Why was he out there?
Yeah, what were you doing out there? So, and look what almost happened, And thankfully, yeah, y'all was able to make it out. But people need to exercise a little bit of caution,
He did a Trump move or something. Just, oh, it's raining. It's up to my knees. Let me go out here and walk.
Let me go out and check out what's going on. Hey, some people are just like that, They got the other side of the smart scale, so to speak. Hey, anyhow, speaking of craziness, and I see that we couldn't make it through the weekend, the holiday weekend. And I know that's what I said. Without, a Juneteenth celebration. It should be a celebration, Larry. It turned out just to be the worst weekend that we've had so far this year.
Across the country, multiple shootings were reported over the weekend. Several cities have been torn apart by gunfire, and at least 12 people have been killed since Friday. Elise Preston has more on the violent weekend.
At a Juneteenth celebration in Willowbrook, Illinois, 1 dead, 22 injured. At a party in St. Louis, Missouri, 1 dead, 9 injured, all teenagers.
All those attending will carry with them the scars, physical and mental, from the gun violence that tore into their lives.
A music festival in Washington, a nightclub in Georgia, a house party in California. More than a dozen mass shootings, nearly 100 people injured. And that was just this weekend.
Let me be clear. We will not tolerate such acts of violence in our community.
So far this year, more than 800 children and teenagers have been killed by guns, which includes homicides and suicides. And it's part of a startling trend. Looking at CDC data, a new report this month by the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions found 2021 set a record for the most deaths ever. Nearly 49,000.
What is
Every week, Larry, we got to have a conversation about the same stupid thing. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I'm like, we done said everything we could say, and we can speculate or throw our honest opinion in about it. But at the end of the day, Americans love guns. With no war involved, it's just guns. It's just
Yeah, but how can you take it to that level? How can you take it from the level of, a simple argument or a debate between two individuals to where it may come into a pushing match or fist fight to all of a sudden now, that's just not even in the agenda.
No, people have it on their brains already to use a gun before a gun is even...
Not even a conversation involved.
The thought is already there. The thought is already there. So it's not even a spur of the moment thing or spontaneous reaction to get a gun. No, the thought is already there. People walk around saying, if somebody do something, I got this gun, I'm shooting their ass. It's already there. People are just wired now to use guns. Now they got women using guns and kids using guns. Usually it was men. Now everybody's doing it. So.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter whatsoever. I think we, in a lot of ways, we're desensitized. You know, you hear it so much. I mean, my God. You know, over 100 people injured in 12 separate instances over 3 days.
At a party.
People. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. It's like, yeah.
Not at war, but at a party. You got people over there fighting.
Yeah, celebrating an occasion. Who knows what the occasion was? They didn't clarify that.
Yeah. So, but you got people over there that are fighting for their lives. Third world countries where they don't have all these great things you have in America. I know a lot of people still live in ghettos, and economically everything is not equal and fair across the board. But we are still here in America. This is a land of opportunity. Here's an opportunity that you have to do better, and without using a gun. You don't have to fight. You don't have to find a place to get water. The water is already there for you. Turn on the faucet. Like, come on. It's just people are just trash.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm amazed. I shake my head, and almost every night, now what happened, right? What the hell's going on, and who got pissed?
I want to see some fist fights. Listen.
Yeah, why don't we? Wouldn't it be nice just to get down to the good old fist fights? What happened to those?
Yeah, fist fights every week. That'll be fun. Have the fight of the week.
There we go. Start putting that stuff on. What is it? TikTok. Some of that other crap. Fist fight of the week.
Don't know, man. I'm like, you got to be careful.
Hey, anyhow, man. Yeah, keep your head on a swivel, folks. That's all I can say. But anyhow, hey, let's get on to a little funny topic. I want my UFO. And our buddy George Santos. George is calling out on the government. He's saying, I know you guys got aliens, and you know what? I want to see them.
Hi guys, Congressman George Santos here. I like space, and I like to think that humans are not the only form of intelligent life the universe has to offer. Anyways, I have a bone to pick with President Biden and the DoD after recent reports coming from former intelligence officers and a whistleblower that say the U.S. government has recovered parts, and I quote, of exotic origin, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin, based on the vehicle's morphology and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures. That's a whole lot of scientific talk to say that whatever we may have recovered is not from this planet.
Including you, George.
Why does he get airtime? He could use that airtime for something way more important than that, to save someone's lives, to help some people, or motivate people to do better by each other or something.
Yeah, wouldn't you think that he should be putting out a positive message instead of some, what it was?
Let's see as UFOs.
The whole thing, he gave you the key word from the beginning when he said exotic. That whole word just set him off, the word exotic, set him off, and he couldn't let it go, Larry.
You know what happened if you gave some of these idiots
Wait, what? A seat in Congress? What?
We gave these idiots the real. If we have them, we gave them the information and the knowledge and then the technology. You know what they'll do to it? Mess it up.
Wouldn't they? Oh, if we truly do, and we could have, who knows, recovered technology from a resource other than planet Earth, would we expose it?
They went and got some stuff off the moon, some space shuttle stuff, and brought it back and said, "Hey, this is alien." Nah, I ain't alien.
So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if they did have something like that, they more than likely wouldn't share it. Why would they?
could be a satellite. It could be a satellite that's, get on, I didn't get out with that crap, man.
Yeah, I know I would keep it alive. I think we talked about that once when we was talking about UFOs. If you would, I think it would induce panic. You know, people would be going crazy. This is just like they had on War of the Worlds. I seen this shit in the movie. We're all gonna die.
Well, the world we're living in.
I guess you're
Let me
right.
erase half these fools.
Speaking of fools, and I love this one. This is my part yet. You know, the other night, Fox interviewed Trump about the documents and why he didn't turn them over and why he may have obstructed justice. Here's his explanation that they'll probably end up prosecuting him with.
It was contentious from the get-go.
First of all, I won in 2020 by a lot, okay?
You lost the 2020 election. There were lawsuits, more than 50 of them, by your lawyers, some in front of judges that you appointed. There have been reviews of every potential case of voter fraud in 6 battleground states, and they found fewer than 475 cases.
You know why? Because they didn't look at the right things.
Okay, are you
There's more fallout from the interview as legal analysts say Trump may have handed federal prosecutors a gift.
It appears to me last night, as a former prosecutor, that he admitted obstruction of justice on the air last night. I can tell you this, his lawyers this morning are jumping out of whatever window they're near.
The former president tried to explain his side of the documents case.
I have every right to have those boxes. We
They
were
did
talking.
ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?
and we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
Which
back.
they've never done before.
Right.
And
But why not just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things. Golf shirts, clothing, pants, shoes. There were many things. I would say much more, not that I know of, but not that I know of.
Fox News' Britt Hume.
His answers on the matters of the law seemed to me to verge on incoherent. It was not altogether clear what he was saying, but he seemed to believe that the documents were his, that he had declassified them, evidence to the contrary.
Trump also said his adult children would not be part of any future Trump administration.
Would you want Jared and Ivanka to serve in a second administration?
No, I said that's enough for the family. You know why? It's too painful for the family. My family's been through hell. My kids who are good kids, and they're working kids. They're not scam artists.
Well, that's debatable, but can you believe what he said?
I'm like, it's Trump. I'm like, he had the boxes.
What an idiot. Why you had the subpoena, yeah, but you didn't give them back. Well, I had personal stuff in them. I had golf socks. I had I don't know, golf bag, hats, this and that. But they told you yours a subpoena, but you told them you had it back. Yeah, I know, but I still hadn't went through everything. I'm like, why would you just like admit everything? Like that's obstruction of justice.
He making like he moving in real life. Like he actually moved out of a house to another home. I'm like, you was in the White House or classified documents, man. You should have just left it there and went through it.
I don't know. I can't go through that man's mind, and it still I am so concerned that he has a shot,
and he's still gonna run.
He's still gonna run,
and people still gonna vote for him.
Probably.
No, they're gonna vote for him.
I said probably.
Yeah, it's crazy how they will still let him run. I'm like, with all of this controversy going on surrounding this guy, you still let him run? Right? This is the dumbest. He's one of the worst candidates, one of the worst presidents, and then one of the worst candidates ever. He turned him from a bad president to a bad candidate. He's still gonna let this guy run.
That's what I don't understand is when how do you have trust and faith in someone who is a liar and a sneak? He's lying.
You know it,
and he knows
it. So the other president, you don't know yet. You know he's like that. You know what you're getting with Trump. So why would you let him back in office? Let him even attempt to get back in office? I'm like,
yeah, well, we'll jump that hurdle when we get to it, right?
I guess the Constitution.
Hey, anyhow, let's move on to another one real quickly here before we have to conclude tonight. And that would be, there was a woman posing as a child service agent. And this could have went south real quick, but hey, check us out.
Moment caught on camera creeping out one local family and now leading to criminal charges. A Norwood family says this woman tried to lure their 4-year-old son away from home. WCPO 9 News anchor Brett Bagansky shows us the evidence now being used against her in court.
He's like, Mommy, there's some lady here that wants to talk to you.
This is surveillance video from Jamie and Tim Spradlin's homes. You see their 4-year-old son running inside the house to get his mom.
She shows me a badge that says her name.
This was Saturday afternoon near Ralston and Ross in Norwood.
She proceeds to rattle off my children's names.
Then she asked Jamie if she can come in.
She said I have to make sure that the children are safe for this home.
The woman said she was following up on a complaint filed against them, but didn't leave her contact info.
Jamie felt like something wasn't right, so what they ended up doing is going back to their cameras. And after looking at the video, they ended up feeling even more uneasy about what happened.
Minutes earlier, she's on camera talking to their 4-year-old son, touching him, has her arm around him, at times stroking his hair.
Creeps us out a little bit. It's gut-wrenching.
I'm absolutely sick to my stomach.
The woman asked her son 3 different times to come home with her. You see her son throw his hands up, run into the house, and that's when Jamie comes out, and the woman identified herself as a CPS worker.
Now we followed through and found out that she is not from CPS, that everything was a lie.
Norwood police identify the woman on camera as 44-year-old Lisa Necrelli, who was in the Hamilton County Jail charged with child enticement.
Your intention was clearly to take my son, to convince him to walk down the street with you to this house, which I didn't even know you lived this close, which is terrifying in itself.
WCPO 9 News confirmed Necrelli lives blocks away from them.
I've told them over and over, you know all those bad words that Mommy says? You scream those at the top of your lungs. You know why? Because it's going to grab somebody's attention that you're in trouble.
And while they still feel traumatized about what happened, they're thankful their son's instincts kicked in. In Norwood, Brett again.
That's a hell of a scam. And you wonder how many times that actually happens where, yes, I'm from CPS, you know, and
I'm going to take your kid.
I'm going to take your kid. People are like, and they, you know, how many, because a lot of people, I mean, I don't wonder how many people would put up a fuss. You know, don't make me have to call the police and have them come, you know, for an assist on this. You know, how far somebody would take that crap.
It's incredible that people would even want to, how risky it is to do it out in broad daylight in front of someone's home. And then, why she just stood there and she should have ran off or something. She still would have been on camera, but I'm like,
for the same reason this other fool beat the hell out of somebody with a golf club for running up and down. Who knows?
You know, when I see a lot of Amber Alerts on my phones, it's a lot of kid abductions going on. A lot of them, for some reason, I'm like,
there's a big market, and then they end up down in Mexico someplace. And you're never going to find them once they're interweaved with the cartels.
oh no, you ain't getting no kids back. I'm
You're
like,
done.
you really got to. I'm like, people are just evil.
And human
idiots.
trafficking is a real business. We could do a segment on that too.
It's a real business. A lot of people don't realize it's happening like that, but it really does exist. It's one of the classes I took in criminology. Human trafficking is probably up there.
It's a very profitable crime.
Yes, human trafficking, stealing petroleum, big petroleum, and then like drugs. I'm like, those are like the 3
Major sources of income for organized crime. Yes.
Yeah. So human trafficking is
A lot of people worry about drugs, but yeah, the human trafficking and the drugs often go hand in hand.
Human trafficking is very high here in the DFW area. I forgot the stats, but I was reading something in one of my classes, and it said DFW has one of the highest human trafficking rates in the country.
Probably because its proximity to the border and the size of the city.
Yes. So that's just probably what it is. So, man, it's crazy.
Because you got a lot of different ways. I mean, you could run down into Corpus Christi, or you could run over into El Paso area, or even, you know, those are the 2 probably easiest in and outs.
Man, just glad the kid's okay.
So yeah, glad the kid is okay. And you know, there's another thing to talk. You know, the stranger danger stuff. How long has that been going on? But it even seems to be worse.
Well, I think people done got away from the stranger danger thing now. I think the shootings have
Have taught kids, Jesus.
shootings. They like, you know what? Forget
Wait a
stranger
minute.
danger. Just motherfucker, just duck and hide.
God, you know, when we was in school, not to date ourselves, but shit, it was like, you know, if you hear this siren, hide underneath your desk, and it's
That
a
was the
tornado
biggest
drill.
thing. Tornado
Okay.
drill. That was our stuff. Yeah, that
Right.
was
And
my
then our
shit.
kids, it's like, you know, the stranger danger, and now it's
There's guns.
guns.
Yeah, how you protect yourself against a gun or a bully, or the LBGTQ. What do you call them? I messed their name up.
Yeah, them too.
Books,
That acronym
magazines.
just keeps getting bigger. So LBGQ. Yeah.
LBGTQ. I'm just saying, but now you got all this other crap and whatever. It's like HIV was big at one time, then COVID came, and then monkeypox. Well, everybody forgot about HIV.
You know, as a matter of fact, it's interesting that you say that because I've seen on the news here, and because we're up in Toledo, Ohio, that they're actually doing that. They're having some event where they're going to do HIV testing, free HIV testing. And they're saying there's so many people that are out and about that don't realize that they have this, transmittable disease. You know, that, hey, you have a STD and, you know, it could get cured. But a lot of people don't know it, especially if you haven't had a medical procedure. There's been no reason to test you, right?
Right.
So, hey, why not you never know. Anyhow, good idea. Get yourself tested because, hey, it promotes your health too. Hey, you could have something else wrong with you and you might find out before it's too late.
That's true.
Anyhow, hey, let's move on to the other part that is Larry's favorite. And I guess, and this is a well-deserving award. And I'm glad this guy got what he had coming to him.
Just into Atlanta News first in a case that we've been covering for years, and you might remember this viral video after the owner of a business in Peachtree City dumped thousands of dollars of pennies at the home of a former employee. As a final paycheck, that employee sued.
And we just confirmed the employee won that suit. Miles Walker has been ordered to pay the former employee and 8 other people $39,000 in back pay and liquidated damages. Check out the Atlanta News First app for our coverage of this story over the years and to see more of this video.
Oh, you got to be a dick.
Now that is a dick, a boss. Could you imagine? He rings the doorbell. Here's your final paycheck, Larry. He says a wheelbarrow full of frickin' pennies.
Okay, think about the time and energy he has to take to accumulate all those pennies and get the wheelbarrow and take the wheelbarrow out the truck or the car, then wheel it up there, then put them in there. Then I'm like, God.
Yeah, what kind of falling out do you think they had?
They had to be big time because these bosses, they'll rip you off, Tim. These companies will rip you off. They will work you like a runaway slave, and they do not want to pay you what you're worth. And they're making all that money. All these companies do that, especially these newer companies. They do it because they get away with it.
And that's happening in Michigan. Actually, what they're doing is the Michigan Supreme Court is taking a look at a bill that the governor struck down that would have raised minimum wage.
You know, even this.
And it's like, why would you strike down something that would benefit the minority? Let's call them the minority people who are on minimum wage and or, you know, some type of other benefits.
Because, you know, property should get paid whatever property gets paid. That's what they look at you as. You're not no employee. You're just a number, a clock-in number. You're property again. You're a modern age slave again. That's how it works. I think every company that makes X amount of dollars a year, depending on the amount, should have a union. I think every company that makes big money should have unions. Not these small moms and pops. These big organizations. They should have unions and very active unions that look out for the employees.
And you know, I got ripped off when I ended up retiring. I think it was a rip off. I had worked for a long time, 20 some odd years of my life in the public forum and where I was paying into Social Security, right? And then I got into where I was working for the government. Now I'm working in a public, and then I'm working on my public employee retirement. So I would think that, you know, I'm on my public employee retirement, but you would think that the Social Security that I paid in for those 20 some odd years should be mine too. They're like, nope, we keep that.
You can't get both of them.
Yep, can't get both of them. I'm like, well, I paid into both. How is that fair?
You did get ripped off.
I mean, for 20 some odd years, I paid into you. Now you're just saying, well,
Some bullshit.
I'm like, wow, okay, well, interesting to know. So for all of you that may have a job where you're working for the private sector, stay there. And if you're working for the government, yeah, stay there, because you're going to lose if you transfer and jump ship.
Damn, it's like saying that if you win the lottery, you can never have Social Security, use your Social Security. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they may do, yeah, that could maybe affect something like that. And besides the taxes that they take out, because what is it going to be? What is gift tax? Don't they consider that like a gift tax? So it's going to be like 40% or something off the freaking chain.
God.
I mean, yeah, your tax alone. I may be wrong, and I may be saying that 40% of it's going to go to Uncle Sam or your local state. But yeah.
You know, this government, pretty much.
Oh, they got.
This is ripping people off.
You know, yeah. Yeah, well, for what we didn't use for the school boards, yeah, we will take out of your pocket because you won. Anyhow, hey, Larry, hey, tell us what's going on, man.
All right. Are we doing it right here? We good?
Oh, I can do it like this. Hang on a second.
Well,
there you are, brother.
Okay, we good.
Okay, there you
go. Larry Estelle, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. You can check me out on IG and also check me out on Facebook at LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. You know, the weather's different in different states and countries right now, but you know, regardless of how the weather is, when you exercise, make sure you stay hydrated. And I'm gonna break hydration down real quick. If you exercise for more than an hour and hot conditions, you want to replenish your body with electrolytes, something like Gatorades and all the power drinks like that have electrolytes and stuff in it. Now, if you're just doing a casual walk, you can just get your water bottle, drinking water, but you make sure that you're drinking water constantly all day, every day. You want to drink at least 8 glasses of water. I think it's 8 glasses of water a day for men and 9 for women. And you can actually put lemon in your water too as a acid that helps your stomach as you drink it, help break down the foods inside your stomach. And lemon is very good for that. So make sure you stay hydrated. You exercising in the hot temperatures, electrolytes, Gatorade, stuff like that. But if you're just doing regular exercises that you're not outside for a long time, drink water. Water is very important for your body. So always drink water, stay hydrated. LRE Fitness Solutions, IG, and on Facebook. Keep you moving.
That's right. Anyhow, hey, man. Yeah, this is Smooth Tim, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything, all that. Yeah, I'm easily Googleable. Yeah, easy to go to, especially on YouTube. Go in search engine, just go ahead and type in type in the Queen Silver Show. You'll get the results of all Larry and I shows, as well as the other shows that I'm involved in. And all I can say is, instead of being so prone to violence, people, and going off the chain so quickly, be the person who says, I'm there for you. I'm here to inspire, motivate, and support. I'm here for you, people. And hey, rather than pull out the gun, pull out the IMs. Inspire, motivate, and support your friends instead of so quickly to pull that trigger. That was cute, wasn't it? IMs. I'm going to start promoting IMs shirts.
Yeah,
what's that for?
So,
Inspire, motivate, and support.
Yeah, me locked in. I was thinking like, yeah.
Well, shouldn't we be? That's what we should be doing to our children and our family, our friends. You know, sometimes we don't agree, sometimes we do agree, you know, with what they're doing, but you should still inspire, motivate, and support them. Oh, I got my animals going crazy, so the hell is going on? My guard dogs are. Queen must have walked into the studio. Anyhow, hey, let's get the heck on out of here, and thank everybody for joining us tonight. And until next week, Larry, let's tell them peace. We'll see you, man.